Hey guys, welcome to Blizzplanet.com's newest episode of the Diablo Dialogue. Now, as always, I'm your host, the Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. Okay, let's get right into that weekly news roundup.
Stay a while and listen.
Now, first off, we're going to talk about patches, as we often do. 1.0.3b finally did officially launch. Now, it was delayed. It was supposed to come out, a couple weeks ago, and then it didn't. However, of course, the big problem that it was going to address, which is the drop rates in Hell and Inferno difficulties, well, that was already fixed with a hotfix a little while ago. But there were still a couple tweaks that came out with this. Now, the most notable deals with the Real Money Auction House. You can now buy and sell commodities in the Real Money Auction House. So this is things like gems, dyes, crafting materials, blacksmith plans, jeweler designs, and pages of training. Now, you still can't buy and sell gold in the game, but Blizzard has promised us that is on its way in the very near future. And considering the timelines that Blizzard has been under whenever they say very near future, you're usually talking maybe a week or two. So that should be coming very soon as well. Now, Blizzard is at San Diego Comic-Con, which starts this weekend. Well, technically I'm filming on Thursday, so it starts today. San Diego Comic-Con, the biggest pop culture convention on the planet, has started, and Blizzard is going to be there. So if you're in San Diego, want to check out some Blizzard stuff. Now, they're not showing off any games. They usually go and attend to show off licensed products, and this is no exception. So let's see. At Friday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., you can run into Mickey Nielsen, Flint Dilley, and Matt Burns at the Insight Editions booth, and they're going to be doing Book of Cain, so doing some signings and stuff like that. Now, if you go back to that same booth on Friday, Insight Editions, at 4 o'clock until 5:30, you can run into Chris Metzen and Sam Didier, and they're going to be there for the Art of Blizzard. Now, Sideshow Collections is also going to be presenting a brand new statue based around Diablo. At the time of this filming, it hasn't been revealed, but by the time you watch this, it will have. So go and head over to Blizzplanet.com, and you can see exactly what that brand new statue is, revealed by Sideshow Collections at San Diego Comic-Con. Now, there's been some discussion, a lot of discussion actually recently, about the end game content in Diablo 3. In fact, Bashiot got on and was saying that Blizzard is recognizing that there is a lack of end game content, that there's the item hunt as always, and of course PvP is coming whenever 1.1 officially rolls out, whenever that is, but they still don't think that those two are enough to truly support a long-term sustained endgame to keep the players invested for months or even years. They're recognizing this, so which means, I'm sure they're working on it. But on Twitter, both myself and Eldorian, under the Blizzplanet moniker, we were debating this back and forth, and we've got some ideas for maybe some cool things we would like to see in that endgame content. Now, for Eldorian, he thinks that currently the game is in its infancy, okay? And Diablo 2 didn't really get an endgame going until the expansion Lord of Destruction came out. Now, he also thinks, and I tend to agree with him, that the auction house has ruined, maybe not completely, but it's definitely ruined the item hunt. It's, you could spend hours and hours trying to find, one piece of armor that actually upgrades you, or you could just spend a few hours, get a bunch of gold, jump in the auction house, and boom, you've got something that is an upgrade, and in fact is sort of tailored at what you're after. I mean, I play a demon hunter, so I can very much filter and say, I want something that boosts my dexterity, because that's what ups my damage. And there it is. Let me filter by something I can afford. Boom, that's a huge upgrade. I buy it, I equip it, I keep going. So that is having an effect on the item hunt. But what he'd really like to see is the ladder come back. And we've talked about this before. He was a big fan of the ladder in Diablo 2, and he would like to see it make a return in Diablo 3. Something to excite the players to keep them playing. Now, personally, I'm going to go way more outside the box. One thing I think that could be cool that they could institute, would be things like sort of arcade modes. Like, what if they had a time attack, a score attack, maybe a survival mode with no potions, things like that. Or way out there, okay, here's my crazy huge idea. What if they had a couple character classes that were like an angel and a demon? And to unlock it, you have to get all the other 5 up to level 60 and sacrifice them all to unlock this character class. But when you start, it's like some uber extra, like, I don't know, pandemonium difficulty level where your level 1 is equivalent to level 61. But the whole thing would work sort of like Exalted in D20, where everything is just massive and over the top. You're crazy overpowered, but so are your enemies, so everything scales up with you. What if you did that? I mean, that would really drive people to go and not just beat the game, but get every character class to level 60, just to unlock this new one, which would just be insane. So that's sort of my thoughts of things that could be done to help get this going. And another discussion I was having with Paul, the guy who does our filming, is there's no mods. And with the structure they have with the always online DRM and all this stuff, mods do such a great thing of extending the game in a lot of different PC games, but we don't have that capability in Diablo 3, so that's another thing that's sort of hurting our end game. But to piggyback on this, we are going to end, as we often do, with a question. What things would you like to see implemented to help improve the end game for Diablo 3, or to really give it an end game beyond just the item hunt or the PvP that's on its way? What do you want to see to help and keep you playing for months or even years on end more Diablo 3? So throw that down in the comments, all right? And, next week we'll try to ramble off some of the best ones that we saw and, incorporate those into next week's video. And, of course, while you're on YouTube, why don't you check out Bearded Gamer Show, my show, all things video games. Especially I'm starting to focus now a lot on Dota 2, doing some live streaming and whatnot. And, of course, head to Blizzplanet.com. All the news, reviews, great community, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games right there. See you guys next week.